Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Hole. My name is Cole, and today we're going to do the very first video in my series of 6s and 7s out of 10s. So basically these are albums that are either just decent or they're kind of hit and miss, right? They're a little messy, but they're worth a spin, in my opinion. So we're going to start with The Hour of the Bewilderbeast by Bagley John Boy, his debut album from 1999. It's got several really interesting songs on it, but it does go on too long. There are some bad songs on it, I would argue, but it's worth a spin. So I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. Let's dive in and talk about track 1, which is called The Shining.
Remembering when I saw your face shining my way, pure timing. Now I've fallen in deep, slow silent sleep. It's killing me, I'm dying. Put a little bit of sunshine in your life. Solid all over you, warm sun pours over me. Solid all over you, warm sun.
Yeah, this is kind of a cute, kind of romantic song because I imagine this guy locks eyes with this girl that he thinks is really beautiful, you know, probably has a crush on her. So he has this moment with her where they lock eyes and he kind of gets the idea that maybe she likes him, right? And he's just really excited about that possibility. So he's having trouble sleeping that night. He's kind of tossing and turning. His mind is racing, thinking about her. He's probably thinking of like ways to ask her out, you know. He's trying to find the courage probably to ask her out the next day or something. So it's a very cute song. I really like it. But anyway, that's The Shining. It's an interesting beginning. You know, it's a little slow, but that's okay. Track 2 is one of the best songs from the album, in my opinion. So let's talk about it. It's called Everybody's Stalking. Yeah, just a very memorable song, probably one of the best on the album. And, you know, I imagine it's the same two people, and the guy is just totally infatuated with this girl who locked eyes with him the other day, and now he's convinced that she likes him. So he's kind of feeling high in the sense of like he's got this idea in his head that they're going to end up together and they're going to love each other and have babies or whatever, who knows. But then he feels low because he's also kind of realizing that maybe this wasn't really what's going on, that maybe it was just a total accident, that they locked eyes by accident and she doesn't actually like this guy. So it sounds like he's convinced himself that he's just going to wait around for her to make the first move, because he says, you know, maybe all I need, you need to, don't wait for me, I'll wait for you. So I imagine he doesn't have the courage to ask her out. He probably doesn't want to face the reality, which is that he doesn't, or that she doesn't like him back, right? Because that could possibly be the case. So he'd rather just fantasize about it and not actually like figure out exactly what the deal is. So he doesn't want to be rejected, basically is what I'm saying. So the song is called Everybody's Stalking. So it sounds like he's being a bit of a creep. That's what I would imagine the song title is suggesting. So I don't know, this poor guy, he's a little creepy, but on the other hand, you know, he really likes this girl, and we've all been there. You know, we all want to hope for the best, and we all don't want to finalize any emotions and discover that, nope, she doesn't like me. We'd rather just fantasize. But anyway, so that's Everybody's Stalking. We're going to skip a few songs. There's some instrumentals that pop up on track 3 and 4, which are kind of like whatever. So we're going to go to track 5, which is called Camping Next to Water.
Misty within reason. I'm hoping I don't freeze here. I feel the fire feed its glow, but there's no use in feeling all the things I'm feeling. There's no one here to feel with me.
So the reason I really like this song lyrically is because I can identify with what I'm assuming he's talking about. So in my own life, the reason that I don't like to do things by myself is because I don't have any memories to share of the experience, right? There's nobody else with me that I can talk to about this experience later with, right? You know, like, oh, remember the time we went camping and we did this and we did that? You know, this guy's camping next to water by himself. And he's thinking about it, and he's kind of realizing how depressing it is, because he says, you know, there's no use in feeling all the things I'm feeling. There's no one here to feel with me. So he kind of feels like he's trying to live his life. He's trying to do things like going camping, but he's also recognizing how kind of depressing it is that he's doing it by himself. So he has nobody to share this moment with, right? And I mean, in my own life, in my own opinion, if you do things by yourself, it's kind of almost like they never happened, right? Because it only exists in your head. I mean, that's going a little bit deep, I'll admit. So again, it's kind of a depressing way to look at it, but it's how I look at it, and I guess it's how he looks at it. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, let's move on to track 6 next, which is called Stone on the Water.
Into the valley we roam, where we fumble around till we find our way home. Yet all we have is an old ball of string. Will it reach to the end of this dark labyrinth? No. Skimmed like a stone on the water, fall with no trace to lie permanently. Ooh.
Yeah, I love the imagery that he's using here with this guy that is going through this maze of life, metaphorically, with this string, this ball of string, and he's going through this maze trying to figure it out, but he only has so much string, and there's a point where he basically has to go forward just with blind faith, right? He doesn't know if he'll be able to return to where he was. He doesn't know if he'll make it out of the maze. But at some point in your life, you've got to take a chance, take a shot, do something risky, and hope that you don't completely crash and burn, basically. So I like the imagery that he's going for here. There's only so much of your life that you can experience being led by the hand, so to speak. And at some point you got to move out from, let's say, your parents' house and try things on your own, stuff like that. So I imagine that's what he's talking about. So I really like this song quite a bit. But that's all I have to say about it. We're going to skip a few songs. There's a short instrumental, but then there's also track 7, which I really don't like at all. It's kind of a dud for me. So we're going to move on to another highlight from the album, track 9, which is called Once Around the Block. Yeah, I just love this song. It's so catchy. It's such a different sound. I imagine it's about one's first love, right? And it's such a magical, such a unique experience that only happens once in your life, right? That first moment when you kiss or when you make love or whatever. The first moment when someone else acknowledges that they love you, or at the very least that they have a crush on you, right? Because once you do that, every other time that happens, it's not as exciting. I mean, it is exciting, but the first time is just such a memorable and, special experience. I imagine that's what he's getting at here. The candle fire that he's putting out, I imagine is, her cherry or whatever, so to speak. So I really like this song. Again, it's just total ear candy. It's a very memorable song. But anyway, that's track 9. Let's move on to track number 12 next. We're going to skip a few songs again because they're not all that interesting, really, in my opinion. So let's talk about Magic in the Air.
We slept on leaves on my drive.
Yeah, I really like this song. It sounds like the woman in this relationship is really into this guy, right? And they're doing very cute, romantic things, like sleeping outside and cuddling outside and staying up really late. right? This woman is totally into it. But it kind of sounds like maybe the guy, he's enjoying it, but it's kind of all right, you know? Because he says, and if you should lose me, you'll track me down again before the summer ends. So it sounds like he's not really all that into it. I mean, he enjoys, you know, cuddling with this girl and kissing her or whatever. I mean, that's fun. But like deeper down, he's not in love with this girl, is what I imagine. So this poor girl, you know, she thinks that she found this amazing guy that she wants to spend, you know, the rest of her life with maybe, but he's just kind of like going with the moment, you know, he doesn't want to, he doesn't dislike her, but he doesn't love her, is basically the point. So this poor woman, hopefully she doesn't get used up, you know, in a bad way. But anyway, that's Magic in the Air. I like it. But we're going to skip track 13 and talk about track 14, which is called Pissing in the Wind.
I've been pissing in the wind. I chanced a foolish grin and dribbled on my chin. Now the ground shifts beneath my feet. The faces that I greet never know my name. Just give me something, I'll take nothing. Just give me something, I'll take nothing.
Yeah, my goodness, the poor guy in this song, it just sounds like his life is not going as planned whatsoever, right? Especially his love life. I mean, he's basically equating his situation with pissing in the wind, right? So in other words, it's just an uphill battle constantly. And he's so down and out that I like how he puts it. He says, just give me something. I'll take nothing, right? I mean, that's a little extreme, but basically that's what he's saying, is that like, absolutely nothing is going right for this guy. And it sounds like maybe he's met some girl who kind of likes him. But it sounds like his expectations are just so low right now that he really doesn't expect this to last. So he's going into this new relationship with, you know, terrible expectations, with a very pessimistic attitude. He just doesn't think it's going to work out. So I would imagine this woman is going to pick up on that sooner rather than later and dump this guy. So you could kind of say his attitude is actually the reason she'll break up with him. Not because he's unlucky, but just because he's approaching it with the wrong state of mind. So he's got some work to do. He needs to see a therapist. But anyway, I've got one last clip for you guys from probably my favorite track on the album. It's really good. It's track 16. It's called Disillusion.
Seems you created your own illusion, fueled by an image of me. Well, I couldn't stand your side, wouldn't be right. A picture that I just don't see. Why you have to make it so complicated? Can it just be beautiful? I don't wanna stifle your flight. I didn't mean to fall in love. Always in pursuit of the perfect people. Oh, and I can see that it shows. Well, that's just an innocence in you I wanna bring out. I know it could be beautiful.
Yeah, so I've always thought of this song as being about the same guy from Pissing in the Wind, and he's basically, he doesn't think well of himself whatsoever. He thinks he's not a catch. He thinks he's boring probably and stupid and not good looking enough or whatever. But it sounds like he's finally met some girl who, for whatever reason, has put him on a pedestal, right? It sounds like she thinks really highly of him. Maybe she thinks he's really handsome and cute or smart or whatever it is. But from his perspective, he thinks that she's disillusioned, that like there's no way he could possibly be anybody's pedestal, right? So like, again, this guy needs to change his attitude. He's finally got a good situation going. He's got a good thing going, and he's trying to like sabotage it basically with the wrong mental attitude. So this poor guy, he's finally found somebody who really, really loves him, but he just doesn't believe it. He thinks he's being like played, right? He thinks there's a trick going on, maybe. But anyway, the song itself is really, really catchy. It's really fun. It's one of my favorites on the album. But that's the last track I want to talk about. Again, I just want to reiterate, this album is hit and miss. You know, there are several really good songs on this album, but there's also a bunch of really noticeably kind of boring songs, in my opinion. It's way too long of an album. It should have been cut in half. You know, there's 18 tracks. It could have been like 10 songs, and it would have been more or less perfect, in my opinion. But even with all of that, I do think it's worth a spin. You know, the songs that I shared with you, I really like. You know, so it's kind of like a messy hit and miss type of album, in my opinion. But anyway, I hope you thought it was interesting, somewhat. You know, let me know, as per usual, your thoughts. Did you like it? Do you think it's better than I'm making it out to be? Whatever you have to say, I'll check them out. But if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helped me out. But yeah, that's Badly Drawn Boy, the Hour of Bewilderbeast. Check it out, and have a good one.